Chatting here with Key High football coach Chad Winters. Last week, Riceville came to town and knocked off the Key Hawks 32-20. And I'm not a very smart guy, Chad, as you know, and I try to oversimplify things. But looking at the stat sheet from that game, 6 turnovers and -5 in the give take. Tough to win football games that way. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, more than fair to say. You really don't have to dig much deeper than that, to be honest with you. You can't give the ball away that many times. They credit to them. They forced some of those. They handled the weather better than we did. Wet night took away the passing game a little bit for us. You just can't. You got to play cleaner football than that against good teams. And Riceville's a strong, fast, physical team. You go back and watch that tape against Don Bosco, and I mean they went toe to toe with Don Bosco for about 3 quarters before they kind of wore down, and Bosco was able to bust that game open. And we knew we had our hands full. And we knew we had to play well to win, and we just didn't answer the bell Friday night.
Of those turnovers that you had in those games, how much was weather related? How much was Riceville making plays? How much is stuff that is correctable on your end of things?
There's a couple. I mean, you throw the ball, there's going to be interceptions. That's going to happen. It's putting the ball on the ground. We just got to be better with ball security. Yeah, it was slippery. It was wet. We just got to take better care of it. We had a couple times where running some jet motion stuff, and guys ended up running in each other, which is very uncharacteristic of what we do. Huge one there in the third quarter to make it I think it's 12 points. We were down inside the 5-yard line, and we had that happen, and that was kind of a backbreaker right there. You're that close to scoring, and all of a sudden you turn the ball over. Just can't do that.
And looking at the score in halftime in that game, you dug yourself a hole, and sometimes when you dig yourself a hole, you use all that energy coming back instead of getting over the hump. How much did the start of last week's game contribute to the ultimate result?
Quite a bit. Second straight week, we dug ourselves in a 20-0 hole. Honestly, it was a lot of our miscues. There's 3 drives in the first half where they scored on. 2 of them were on 4th down plays when they ended up scoring, and the other one was on we had them 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, jumped short route, completed the first down pass, and were able to go in and score. That's just stuff we got to clean up. I mean, you got a chance to get off the field, you got to get off the field. We had 3 opportunities to get off the field, and we didn't get off the field on any one of them, and they ended up scoring on all 3 of those drives. And it's a tough one to swallow when you had a chance to get them stopped and you just couldn't.
And this week, in the early part of practice this week, I know you guys have dropped 2 in a row, and a lot of your miscues led to the loss last week. How is the vibe? How do you try to keep your guys as up as possible heading into the homecoming week this week?
Our message to them was just, we've got to be focused this week. I mean, high school football coaches, homecoming week's a tough week. There's a lot of distractions going on. You got parades, you got coronations, you got pep rallies, dress up days. Ultimately, they need to recognize that Friday night is the biggest part of homecoming, and making sure that we do what we need to do to secure a win with West Central coming to town.
And West Central is your opponent. What do you expect out of the Blue Devils come Friday night?
You're going to get a well-coached team. Coach Milder's been there a long time. Very good football mind, Hall of Famer. They're going to be fundamentally sound. They're going to do what they do. They got some big boys up front that kind of lead the way, and they got a couple backs in the backfield that run really hard. They've moved the ball well on a lot of teams. They end up shooting themselves in the foot here and there, and get a penalty or get a negative yardage play. And for that type of offense, if they stay on track, they're tough to stop, but you got to get them off track to get that stop. And they've kind of had some of those miscues along the way that have stopped drives for them and haven't been as successful moving the ball as what they've shown at times against Riceville and Don Bosco, or a couple of the last teams that they've played.
And since it is dress-up day, perhaps for an 8-man football coach wearing a 9-man football high school jersey, a guy that made the NFL, I like the connection there, Coach.
Yeah, I don't know if I was thinking that when I put it on, but yeah, he exemplifies what you want kids to be like and how hard they work and where hard work can take you.
No doubt about it. Coach, hopefully you can get back on the winning track, keep kids healthy this Friday night. Hopefully it's a happy homecoming. We wish you best of luck.
Thanks, Darren.
Chad Winters, head coach of the Key Hawks. It's homecoming this week. Key Hawks in West Central.